Hey. Hello. Hi, guys. Cancerians, I am so very sorry. I have failed you guys consistently twice this week. On Tuesday, when I should have put out your first video, I didn't get it out till Wednesday. Now here it is. Saturday, Sunday, and I should have been out on Saturday. So my apologies. I'm about 10 hours late for you guys. So sorry. One thing I wanted to mention though is we're pretty close to hitting 10,000 subscribers over on this channel. When we do that, I will wind up going live and do some card pulls for my subscribers. But I'll probably also set it up where I'll open up comments on a video and people can enter to win there also. And I'll choose like 10 out of the comment section. And then I'll also go live just because I know not everybody can always make it. And I'm just kind of giving you guys that little heads up. I'm only announcing it in the Cancerian video just because I want to do something a little bit extra special for you guys. So you have a little bit more of a heads up on this. To say thank you guys for being here, being so kind and so awesome and patient with me. Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday, all. All right, so let's begin. We have honor the deities around you. By the way, I don't know, we may hit the 10,000 this week. If we do, just know I will probably do a little Cancer bonus video because Cancer, you guys are the star of this channel, whether or not you guys know it. I moved you over here from my other channel, my main channel, Kate's Regretless Life, because nobody was ever seeing the Cancer videos. You guys didn't get notifications. It was just so content heavy that you guys were like the smallest watch group. And because of that, you were also the group that I was doing last because I have to, kind of like make sure that I take care of the watch groups that are more invested in my other channel. But I felt like, but you guys don't even have a chance to get your videos to circulate. So I moved you guys over here in the hopes that that would make you more visible because I felt bad and I love Cancerians. But honestly, I really haven't seen much change. I still don't really have Cancerians that tend to watch me very much. But for those of you that do, that just makes you even more near and dear to my heart. So thank you guys. But just so you know, when we hit the 10,000, hopefully it'll be because a lot of Cancerians actually subscribe. But I'm going to do a little extra video for you guys this week. And then, like I said, I'll open comments on that video, let you guys drop a comment. So keep your eyes open for that because I'll probably only like whatever day we hit 10,000, I'll go ahead and put out that Cancerian video. And then probably by the evening, I'll probably wind up going live sometime that evening. So you'll only have like a span of like maybe 6 or 8 hours to drop a comment and be one of those 10. Otherwise, you'll be fighting against all of the other people in the live session at random to get one. So anyway, just so you guys know, I'm trying to give you a little bit of an extra pump for saying thank you for being here, guys. So we have honor the deities around you. Sorry about all that talky talk, but I thought I should make the announcement. Honor the deities around you is... I love this message coming from the ancestors. It's about, prayers, offerings, and help. So if our Cancerian is looking for some kind of support, if they're looking for some kind of, energy or message to come their way, I'm thinking that you notice that we have all of the hieroglyphs here. I'm feeling like Cancerian may either think that they don't know how to communicate with their deities or their higher power or their guides or, even just their own higher self. And I'm guessing that that's probably incorrect. Cancerian probably does this all the time. We have nature spirits. Ooh, elves, fairies, and rock formations. Okay, so interesting. We have very spiritual energy here. And we certainly put that spirituality into the context of kind of like the natural world, the nature. What do I want to say? The natural and nature-oriented like connections that characters may have to the world around them. That's maybe how they connect. Like maybe every time Cancerian takes a walk outside and your mind just kind of drifts sometimes. Maybe that is where they're connecting to their ancestors. Maybe we have a fairly mystical Cancerian here, and they may or may not know that. They may have some kind of I don't want to say that they're fairies or anything like that, but let's say like the shamanistic tendencies to be really connected, really grounded, really, this could be a Cancerian that understands plant life. Maybe their house plants tend to do really well, or maybe certain ones do, certain ones don't. Maybe they're just somehow like more drawn to green spaces, places with living plant life, even if they don't have plants at their own home. Not everybody has the time, space, or capacity in their life to nurture other growing things, but it doesn't mean that they're not still connected to the earth. We have a 7 of coins, which is kind of like our gardener's card. It's the person who's been planting seeds, and then we're getting close to harvesting things. Okay, so everything here is leaning me towards saying, I think Cancerian is either needing to connect with or recognize this power in themselves, maybe needing to spend a little bit more time with plants, gardens, growing things, fresh fruits and vegetables, earth-related things, because it grounds them. And I think that they've been growing something in their own life, and this is just a nice like metaphor or something that they might open their eyes and be like, oh wow, this is so much like what I've been doing in my own personal life. Okay, we have a 10 of swords. We've got one chapter of Cancerian's life is about to close, and it's going to be replaced by something that has been slowly growing in the background. These two are not going to be like a direct like end one thing, start the next. It's not going to be an overlap. There could be a gap, because the 7 of Pentacles, we're not at a 10, right? What's been growing isn't yet ready to fully replace what's about to be closed. So our character could literally have like 3 months or something where they're in this weird interim. And maybe that's why it's like, okay, Cancerian, connect with one's higher self, connect with one's guides, because anytime we have those weird interims, it can feel like, what the hell just happened? I don't understand. One thing in my life is gone. I have no direction. I feel forlorn. I feel lost. And it says, no, Cancerian is anything but lost. In fact, this could be their time to like really get themselves grounded, really feel connected spiritually, really feel whole, and trust that there has been something that has been growing slowly but surely that is going to be much more stable. It's kind of like, if I'll stick with like the idea of gardening or doing things outdoors, because imagine if there's like an old tree that's actually died and you loved that tree, but it's a huge hazard. It's probably going to fall on your house. So you got to have it chopped down before that happens, because you can see, it's on its last leg. So for safety's sake, it's got to go. And it's awful. It's awful anytime you have to take down a tree, especially one that you look at as a friend. But if it's gone, it's gone. However, there might be some other magnificent, let's say, this reminds me of like a camellia bush, and they can get so tall, they can look like trees practically. And maybe there's been the camellia bush that you didn't pay much mind to. It was there when you moved in, but it's been growing very near that tree, but you didn't pay much attention to it until, oh my God, the tree is gone. But come springtime, well, even before spring, camellias come out way early. Even, right as, to herald in springtime, you may suddenly notice that camellia bush, and it might be beautiful, but there's a lag time. You take down the tree, you're sad over that, but this is about to blossom and bloom. So hang in there. And in that span of time, don't sit there and hate your house or just feel sad about losing the tree. It says that there's something else that is in the works for Cancerian. Knight of Cups, 7 of Wands, Temperance. Okay. This does look like it could be about love, about heart-centered topics. We see this man, this knight, who's sketched out, right? He's not fully filled in. So we know he hasn't arrived yet. And he's an action taker, so we know he's like in transit. It does look like Cancerian is ending a chapter of a romance or even a dream that they had to have a romance with somebody. And you can see she's grieving. She's in black. She's kind of in fetal position. She's hugging herself, crying. This is a sad card, undoubtedly. And it is like letting a dream go. The only thing is, this dream wasn't yielding happiness if it was just a lot of swords. This was a dream or a wish or a hope to have something that was really intended to just expand Cancerian's mind. The swords they're not full of emotion. They're full of thought. This is a clinical process instead of an emotional process. So this wasn't going to be a romance after all, even though maybe, there was a profound wish for it to be. That seems to be ending. So either there's a disillusionment, there's, a chapter that ends, and of course that sucks. But keep in mind, it's being replaced. There has been some kind of I want to say divine either partnership that is on the horizon, that has been slowly but surely developing, growing. This could be that this person's already in Cancerian's life, but they never in a million years, at least not right now, would they have ever imagined that this person is going to become a romantic partner. Let's say this is the cousin of our next door neighbor who, we vaguely waved to, at one point in time last summer, but we don't even know their name and they haven't been in town. And now they're going to be moving in with that next door neighbor and they're going to be staying. So in 3 months' time, this person who we had a vague, yeah, I think I've seen you around once before. Now they become our next door neighbor because something in their life is shifting. They're coming into the scene. We don't have them fully filled in yet, but I feel like this is somebody that Cancerian knows something about, but doesn't have a relationship with. This is going to be a new relationship with someone who is new, but not completely unfamiliar, is what it looks like. 7 of Wands and Temperance says Cancerian might be like, I don't even see that. I don't understand how that could happen. By the way, somebody could have a tongue ring or like a piercing or something. This is actually kind of a tip of the hat to Green Man. Also, Green Man is this, you see him a lot in garden places in the Celtic world, in Britain, in all over the Mediterranean. You'll see him in gardens in the United States as well. There's one like in one of my old neighborhoods that I used to live in. Lots of times it's like a, like clay, fired clay of this man's face that's all kind of like made out of leaves. And in this case, it's kind of a little bit morphed. It looks a little bit different, but they call him Green Man. And it's, kind of like that nature spirit, and it represents a growth and transformation. It does look like it's this 7 is a divine number also. But everything here says Cancerian's life is evolving, whether or not they know it. They'll probably have a sense of peace that will be entering into their life, even during this weird gap between something ending that is painful to let go of and before they meet this new person. But I think what Cancerian is going to find is, because here's the Temperance angel, and we go back to those connections with the deities and everything. I feel like Cancerian is supposed to just take care of themselves, maybe for like 3 months, take care of their health, their well-being, everything that makes them feel better inside. Take more walks, go outside, spend more time in whatever interests and hobbies they have. Like, I always think creativity is like a spark of a divine within us. So maybe things along those lines. But we do have kind of a strong spiritual pull here. It's funny because it's that same spiritual pull that is actually aligning this for Cancerian, even though they don't see it, they don't know it. But things are transforming and growing just the way they're supposed to. Tons of growth in this storyline. I keep thinking that Cancerian probably has some kind of, like a growth pattern, or they've, like, maybe their hair is growing, maybe their fingernails are growing, maybe their houseplants are growing, maybe they're seeing their bank account grow. I think right now for Cancerian to start to notice, even though they're experiencing some closure and some loss, they may start to notice that other things in their life have exhibited growth. And that's an important message for them to pay attention to. Hell, I'm picturing somebody's fish in a fish tank suddenly looks bigger, just, excuse me, different things. I'm even picturing right now a spill that's actually growing and expanding. All of those little tiny symbols are symbols to remind Cancerian that even though you think something's over, other things are growing and expanding right now. I don't know if somebody's going to be wearing like tie-dye or something like that, something that looks like a spread out, or like watercolor painting or something along those lines. We have the Knight of Coins in the reverse and the 3 of Coins upright. Anytime I see the Knight of Coins in the reverse, instead of having this slow moving journey toward one direction, this is where we do a timeline jump. And what used to be our old destination is no longer our old destination. Thank goodness, because I feel like whatever this romance was, whatever this connection was that Cancerian is mourning the loss of, like I said, it wasn't an emotionally satisfying situation anyway. It was one that they were supposed to let go of. It was one that they were supposed to release, and because it was a lesson, it was a cerebral experience, And that wasn't ever their destination, and they're realizing that now. So it's a timeline jump. And of course, when we do a timeline jump, everything's different. We're traveling down different roads now. Our destination is a different castle than we thought it was going to be. The companions we're going to meet on that different road that we're now on, they're going to be different people than what we had expected, we thought we were going to be connecting to. So we've got a couple pillars. I don't know if somebody's literally going to be going to some space that has pillars or columns, whether this is like walking through some other kind of a garden, or whether this is going to some, restaurant, or whether this is moving into a home or something that has like, a frieze or a font or, pillars on the outside. But it does speak of strength. It speaks of things that are going to be making a lot more sense, I think, in Cancerian's life. This new chapter, this shift that they are experiencing, it's going to be so much more aligned. These pillars are amazing at weight bearing. So I'm feeling like maybe that other relationship of the past, there was never the sense of stability or the strength to bear the weight of, look, relationships have to be strong enough to handle the burdens of life, because life is hard and there's a lot of ups and downs. And if a relationship cracks under the strain of the day-to-day stuff, then instead of being like a support network, think of how a bridge is built. Think of like we'll say like the cable bridges, the San Francisco Bridge, for example. The weight distribution and the angles, and it's an amazing piece of engineering, and it can handle the load. But if one of those pillars goes down, if one of those pylons is taken out, like we see how fast bridges can collapse if you have any kind of support structure that is knocked out. That's kind of the analogy here for a relationship, where if one thing gets knocked out, then the whole thing collapses. Well, that's not a very stable connection. This is going to be so different. We have these puzzle pieces that are coming together. I even feel like this is not just about romance. Romance is wrapped up in this, but again, it's a whole new life chapter and life direction for Cancerian that's coming up. And again, we see those 3 pillars. So it could be that this begins in about 3 months, where they start to, recognize that, oh my gosh, things feel so different to me. I'm meeting different people. I definitely am meeting a different romantic partner. But then over the course of the next 3 months thereafter, so now we're talking a 6-month timeline, that's where we start to see like real connections being built. And this could be in friendship, this could be work related, this could be romance related, but it just feels like there's a new collection of energies surrounding Cancerian. What's the best message for Cancer as they're going through this transformative time? 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands says, look, everything feels uncomfortable when it's new to us. 5 of Wands is when we think about stuff, we go through it in our mind, we practice it. Sometimes we don't like it very much. Sometimes think about anything that you're, let's say exercise is a great example because it's so physical. You start a new exercise routine, and even if you were already fit, you can still be sore in places that you're like, oh, wow, I'm a marathon runner, but I guess I haven't been a power lifter before. I'm starting powerlifting, and damn, that's working me in new ways. Even a really competent person can find something new to be like out of the ordinary, and you got to adjust to it, and your muscle mass has to, you got to get the muscle memory, and life has to start to fit. This can be uncomfortable is what I'm getting at, but it doesn't mean that our character won't discover that it works really well. It's interesting because now we have those pillars again, don't we? We have the Capitol building, or a Capitol building. I'm picturing that with the 5 is a number of change anyway. This change, this transformation is going to get Cancerian up in their head, and they're going to have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Changing a direction in life is not easy. Changing friendships, changing lovers, changing, all that stuff is going to feel awkward, because it is. But on the other hand, we'll get a little more familiar. And I think if Cancerian takes us into like, give everything at least 5 days, approach something, say, I don't like this. Everything feels weird. Okay. But in about 5 days, a little bit more familiarity each day, and then it might not feel so odd. Or, try something and then leave it alone for a couple days and then come back to it. But it says it's going to take some time to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And this is a transition time. It's kind of nice that this is Cancerian is easing into the new, even though the ending is abrupt. The ending is, that's it. But easing into the new seems to be, you know how like companies talk about onboarding. Let's onboard a new hire, and they don't throw everything at you at once. They break it down into chunks of information. You know, you get qualified and trained and skilled in certain tasks. You master it, then you go on to the next, and it's building blocks of information. It's 90 days before your insurance kicks in if you get insurance in your job too. That's kind of what we're looking at. It's almost like the universe is onboarding Cancerian. We have an Ace of Wands. If they look at it that way, I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a lot easier. We've got the light bulb and we got those little divine wings. I feel like this is going to be pretty good after all. Ace of Wands, this isn't so uncomfortable anymore. This isn't so painful anymore. I think it's going to be all right. This might make it easier for our character to see it that way. Okay, so one thing's in my life is ending, and all these new things, this is a new chapter. It's going to feel awkward. Okay, but I'm being onboarded. Okay, all right. And now our character doesn't have to feel like they're somehow just lost in the void and just, oh, that's such a great song. Human Sadness by The Voids. Love that song. That just came to mind. I haven't listened to The Voids in so long, and it seems like just recently I've been thinking about, not that song, but other songs by them. Anyway, let's go ahead and leave this one here, you guys. Thank you so much. Eden, you angel. You're so sweet. Thank you. I'm happy to be the auntie of the Cancerians. You're so sweet. Hi, Carmen. Hi, Gwen. Great to catch you, love. Angelina Davina. Hi, sweetie. Pauline Bennett. So good to see you. Good evening to you, huh? Because I know you're 8 hours ahead of me. Carrie Wilson. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Delinda. I will get you an ophiuchus today, by the way. Don't worry. Oh, you're so awesome, Devin. Thank you, honey. Samantha S. Great to catch you. Tammy Secord. Hi, honey. Hi, Cassie. Happy Sunday to you also. Dana. Good to catch you again. Bogdanka. Right back to you. Nikki O. Lulu. Hi, Shirley. Good morning, honey. Nikki O, Annie S, Lindsay, Indigo Moonex, Denisa, Black Butterfly 25. Thank you guys. Really appreciate you guys. All right. Lots of love, and I will see you sometime this week, I would assume, again, for that kind of like special event that I think we'll be doing this week. Okay. All right, guys. Lots of love. Bye.